It still runs. It's still going. It still works great. Given what this idiot's been through, I can't believe it. I didn't believe it even started, let alone cromulently. I gotta quickly recap, seriously. I mean, don't replace your oil with Nutella. Don't do it. All those gritty hazelnut particles will bind up everything it touches and will spin the bearings. Right? This is KO for an engine. The Goober died. James literally forcibly picked the bearings out, dropped them on the floor, mind you, and then just scraped the Nutella off and then slapped the engine back together. All the lifters were effed. They were seized in the closed position, causing just a huge amount of noise. And it worked awesome until it just started having weird nut allergies afterwards. It's so bad. It sounds so bad. And then the engine was stripped to nothing. Like, pulled the pistons out to find that the oil rings were seized in and cooked. Like, they're not springing out as much anymore. But I didn't want to spend any money on new parts on this thing. And so the awful sin of reusing the head gasket. This is so bad. You'd never do this. Drowned in Hylamar. And then, like, reusing the head bolts, which stretched. Right? You're meant to use new head bolts for this thing, and they stretched. They didn't even get close to tension. Not even close. And like, all of a sudden, James just rattle guns them into place and just calls it good enough. Reusing a used head gasket, even with brand new bolts, is so dodgy, right? They weren't even tight enough. All the top end bolts were F, so we just used Bunnings bolts as well, and they bound up and didn't let the cam spin properly, and it still ran. It started. It blew me away. I thought it would have had a blown head gasket or something. But it was still noisy, which was all fixed when we added the goo. That puts the goo in Goober. And honestly, when that 40W shitbox oil went in, that's it. It has been dead silent ever since. And I mean it right now, it's as if it never had the Nutella put through it. So it's been a few weeks and I've been driving the guts out of this thing, like on 130 something kilometers in it, and I still don't trust it yet. You know, there's so many people out there who want the Goober to be free. Just to want, like, no more senseless torture against the Goober. Oh, you want the Goober to be free, do you? Well, it has to pass a trial by fire. Over here on the 0 to 60 board, right? You know, 60 kilometers an hour, which is residential speeds. The Goober pulled a 432. Hey, I want to know, is the Goober any slower? It runs, but how well? And doing 0 to 60 pulls is brutal. Getting a car started from zero as hard as possible where everything's stationary and bang, it has to go. That's when stuff likes to explode. So mate, let's be fair. Like, 6 really, really hard pulls, really hard attempts at beating or matching its original time, 7 if I'm feeling cruel. And if we could do those attempts, full flat throttle, without exploding, I'll guarantee its freedom. It'll never be experimented on ever again. So the Goober is playing for its own freedom. The Goober is playing for its own life. Take it away, Goober! Stupid Goober.
It's a new lap record.
Oh, that's way too much. Oh, the quickest yet.
It's a new lap record.
Oh, it's just huge burnout. That was terrible. lap. Oh yeah, we chirped. Oh, come on. We chirped second. Really? 0.2 slower than my best. Come on. I missed the gear. Yeah, I did 14. Oh, that last one! Damn it! It was the cheapest car in Australia in 09, right? You know, it doesn't have a dynamic feeling shift. It honestly feels like it's like set in Play-Doh. It's, yeah, first and second is really goobery to get to. And no, we didn't beat 4.32. But oi, some concessions here. It is running on yellow stale bucket fuel with pulp and like random cups of diesel and any old crap that we don't know what to do with. We just dump it in the Goober tank. And it was a swampy, hot night that night. It was like right before we got hit with this crazy, almost like tropical rain. So yeah, it was hot, humid, gross, and yellow bucket fuel. It's basically the same. It's just shrugged off the Nutella. And even after all that abuse, you know what I mean? It's actually better than it ever was because it doesn't drip oil anymore. I can't believe it. This, like the fifth go on that gasket covered in silicone. Man, it's fine. It's fine. I love people saying like, what magic did James weave to make this happen? There was no magic. It was an absence of magic. There was negative magic involved in this project. It was a magic vacuum. If magic arrived on site during this, it would have been obliterated in a singularity like in a black hole. The head bolts were rattle-gunned on after stretching. We reused the head gasket covered in Hylamar. It's not supposed to work. The bearings were spun. The engine was seized. The oil rings were seized. The whole engine was effed. It's like 14 hard pulls after another. I can't believe it. It wins its freedom. I can't do it anymore. Curse you, Goober. Curse your cromulence. How do you do it, Malaysia? Toyotas are being recalled for engine problems, and Protons survive a nut allergy. What is this world coming to? I'm yelling! Wow, mate, thanks so much for watching all the way through. I really appreciate it. Wow, the Goober is free. Car channels are expensive, hey? If you became a member, that would be pretty sick. You do get like special treats in return, mate. You get like secret photos of stuff that's been worked on, like before people see it. You get little like emojis and stuff too. And the ultimate, mate, you can jump into me float plane where I do like car review watch and stuff. And like if you don't like any other stuff, you can actually turn it off and it's all sick. So like, yay, thanks. The Goober's free.